As Bud Farmer 420 says, Coach is in the club. Oh, I feel good this morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into the Early Edge, your daily sports betting brand of record. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine, the best value in all sports betting, and it is not close. Now, coming up another really good day at the brand in the NFL. A whole bunch of check marks, a few X's as well, as the Chiefs last night got it done, but only by 3. We told you on Early Edge Live, be very, very careful. The rest of the day looks a little something like this. For the 9th straight week, my man Prop Stars, profitable with all of his picks. That is almost impossible to do. By the way, we had 3 winners last night. That's because Travis Kelce, plus 185, went north of 100 yards. We have 3 winners. We will reach out to you on Twitter to let you know who is the lucky ones to get the Early Edge hat, the merch pack, and that cool $100 cash. Now, Mondays are the end of our week here at the Early Edge. We have a busy, busy day as always. We have the morning show. We have Early Edge at 5. And, of course, tonight, you do not want to miss Early Edge Live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time as we count down to the final game of Week 9, which is, of course, Monday Night Football. Thank you to all of you in the chat for wishing me congratulations. But, as always, we must now look forward. So look at the stars of the show that I have this morning. Oh, look at this group right here. Let's start. She is going to be all over the hockey scene today. Allie, good morning.
Good morning. Kind of a rough weekend with that Alabama loss there, but get ready to get back to it next season.
Wow. I got to tell you, Brian Kelly, serious guts to go for it in 2, but I know Alabama didn't win, but as you said, better luck next year. But you're still not dead yet. We'll see.
It's going to take a lot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It would take a lot. Now, this man's been very, very busy. He was up very early today as the Champions League has their official draw. You'll get into that. But Buckets, you're going to be around a lot this week. Good morning.
Good morning. I will be around a lot this week, and we are officially less than 2 weeks away from the start of the World Cup. So every day I get a little more excited for what's to come these next few months.
Everybody in the chat, everybody on social media, they love them some buckets. So you're going to get a full bucket full over the next month or 2. All right, finally, he is live from Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City, and he has been very quietly on a roll for the crew. Zach Simony, good morning.
Good morning, Coach. Yeah, yesterday I didn't win my sides in the NFL, but I only posted 2 plays. I didn't really like the board, and it's one of those examples. Don't stretch the board if you don't like it. I actually hit my props. They weren't on the site, but I hit my props. Julio Jones over 25.5 yards. Juju Smith-Schuster over 52.5 receiving yards. And then we did hit that Tyreek Hill full season prop that myself, you, Larry, RJ, and Emery discussed. I previewed that AFC East division, so that was good to hit that. But for me, today's a big day. College basketball is here. So from now till March with NFL, NBA, college basketball, it's going to be a grind of a grind.
Oh, college basketball is the biggest of the grinds. It goes all the way to April, and there's games literally every single day. All right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today. And I got to tell you, with the craziness of the Bucs game yesterday, and there was a lot of crazy finishes and things that happened in the NFL, but with the craziness of the Bucs game, the Saints, Zach, now find themselves in a very interesting position. Start us off.
Yeah, we didn't expect Tampa Bay to come back and win that game, but they are 4-5. Atlanta melted yesterday in the second half, could have won that game against the Chargers. They are 4-5 as well. And then the Saints, if they can somehow win today, they would be 4-5. So you'd have 3 teams tied for first place in the NFC South. This is a Saints team that has been without 3 defensive backs this year. Marshawn Lattimore's out, PJ Williams, Bradley Roby. They've dealt with Jarvis Landry. They've dealt with Michael Thomas. And all of a sudden, playing without those players, the team is starting to adjust and get acclimated. So they're only 1.5-point underdog tonight against the Ravens.
All right, we'll keep our eye on that. Of course, coming up tonight, Early Edge and Live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We got sides, we got props, we've got the gym. Oh, can I go 2 nights in a row getting into the club? We got it all tonight. You want to be there for it. Now, as Buckets already alluded to, the World Cup is coming up in less than 2 weeks. However, there is another big money tournament that lasts pretty much the entire year, and today was an important day. Buckets, why?
It was an important day because we had the Champions League round of 16 draw at 6 a.m. this morning. I woke up for it. That's why I'm looking a little bit rough this morning. But we now know all 8 matches to expect when the Champions League does come back in February. Liverpool versus Real Madrid, Bayern Munich versus PSG. We have some beautiful matchups to look forward to. With that being said, I want to give everyone a little bit of advice here. You can bet all of these games on all the major sports books already. Do not do that. Do not touch these games until the World Cup ends. A single injury during this grueling next month of the World Cup could be the difference between betting PSG at plus 150 now or plus 500 come February. We'll work with you. We'll help you find the value when it's the right time, but we need to get through this World Cup before we do anything with the Champions League.
My man, educate and entertain. Educate and entertain. You got to be careful when you put those plays in. Pay attention to Buckets, the guru, and our silent assassin, Brant Sutton. Now, last night I found myself at a place that I don't normally go to, the Honda Center. Little Anaheim Ducks game, taking on the Florida Panthers. And in true Florida fashion, it cashed the over 5-3. But what are teams, Allie, that are good with the over this year and also good with something that I despise? Oh, those unders. Talk to me.
Yep. So just looking at the team total over so far this season, obviously, if you saw my tweet, the Kraken are leading right now. It's 11-2, and they've hit that in 9 straight games. Following next, Sabres 10-2, the Bruins 9-3, and then flipping it to the best unders or the least profitable overs. The Leafs, the under is 10-3. The Rangers, their team total under is 9-4, and the Caps are also 9-4. So, the Kraken, if they've hit it 9 in a row at this point, it's going to be something that I'm going to keep playing there. Same thing with the Sabres, but definitely teams to look at for those team total unders.
And the one thing that Allie teaches you and all my cappers teach you is that just because something's cashed 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, doesn't mean it can't continue to cash until you fall off the wagon. It's okay to lose 1 out of 7, 1 out of 8. It's okay. It's okay.
Exactly.
All right. Let's get into our board for the day. So we got 1 play for SportsLine, and if you're not a SportsLine member, what in the world are you doing? But I'm going to do you a solid. If you're a little trepidatious, okay, I'm going to let you use the promo code early. I'll give you 30 days for free. You can try out all my cappers, all my simulators, all the numbers, and then you'll be playing with house money, as many in the chat already know that. Clyde got in the club with me last night. Oh, Big Cheesy, I see you. Glenn, I see you. Don, I see you. We love some buckets in the morning. I love when the chat is popping, but I need you to hit that like button. It helps the show grow. And we are growing bigger in a very, very short period of time. So 1 play from SportsLine today. We're going to go to the NBA. It's a graded A pick at SportsLine. We're going to go over 226, Bucks and the Hawks. Our simulations have this cashing at 240. So you're getting about 14 points of value in our simulations. All right. Now, where do I start with my cappers? Where do I start? Well, I just told you I was at a hockey game last night. So why don't we start right there? Because I thoroughly enjoyed it. Allie, do you possibly have, as I said last night, the overcash? Can I get an over today, please?
Absolutely. So we're going to go with the Oilers at Caps over 6.5 minus 115. Looking at Jack Campbell, he's really been pretty terrible. He's really relied on the offense a lot. He has a 4.21 GAA. And then also looking at Darcy Kemper, he's actually been a lot worse at home where he has a 3.03 GAA. The Oilers are scoring an average of 3.83 goals per game, but they're allowing an average of 3.5 per game. And the Caps, I know they've been pretty plagued by injuries so far this season, so it's kind of hurt their offensive production because they're only scoring like 2.69 goals per game. But I think just with Campbell in net that they'll be able to get to that 3. But I also don't see the Oilers scoring fewer than 3, so I think we could have a potential overtime situation. But either way, I think we have a high-scoring game.
And a little added bonus, if you're going to this game in person, I believe, Allie, that Caesars now has an operating sports book in the arena that you can place your bet and then cash on your way out the door. Is that correct?
Yep, there is. And they do a show there, actually, that you can see. It's like a whole cool thing.
There you go. They do a show there. Complete production facility. It won't be the last, I can guarantee you. It's going to kind of be the model for how a lot of arenas are going to do it around the country if you're in a state that sports betting is legal. Allie, thank you very much. Now, I need to get back to Monday Night Football because there are sometimes numbers, Zach, that fall through the cracks. And if anybody's watched the Saints very closely the last couple of weeks, this number, this player seems very low to me. Who am I talking about?
Alvin Kamara, the running back of the Saints, he has that Las Vegas storyline still being investigated. He's been able to sidestep that distraction. His prop keeps going up for receiving yards. It is at 37.5 yards right now. I say keep playing it. He's went over this prop number 3 of his past 4 games. 2 of those games, he surpassed 90 yards in 2 of the last 3 weeks. You look at Andy Dalton. We know he hasn't had the top flight receivers that he's supposed to have, but he's gotten comfortable with those guys over the last month, and that's allowed the Alvin Kamara yardage to spike through the roof. And then you assess how Alvin Kamara has done at home versus on the road. He's played 3 home games, 3 road games, 71 receiving yard average at home, 25 receiving yard average away. So obviously being at the Superdome, I think he's a little bit more shiftier. The teams can't get him down, and Andy Dalton is going to target him no matter what. 28 catches the past 4 weeks. Take his over. It's on the move, 37.5 yards.
Just last week, 9 catches, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. And where was that game at, Zach?
At the Superdome.
You're damn right it was. It was at the Superdome. Let's cash that ticket right now. Now, buckets. You just saw what Allie did. You just saw what Zach did. But you, sir, are in the maestro's spot. I know it's not lost on you. And I know a couple of weeks ago you bombarded into the show demanding that you have that spot. Well, you earned it. However, what you didn't earn last week was Turtleneck Tuesday for your boy tomorrow. But we'll get back to that. I want to know about today. What do you got?
Coach, I live for the pressure and the stress that comes with being in the maestro spot. Give me that smoke. And let's start off with a bucket classic here. We're going with Fenerbahce Istanbul taking on Sivasspor. This is in the Turkish Super League. This game is at noon today, so you only have a couple hours to get those tickets in. We're looking at Fenerbahce first half money line here at -110. They are by far the most dominant team in all of Turkey. They alone, not as a combined score between both teams, they alone as a team are averaging over 3 goals a game this year. They have been dominant in Europa League, they've been dominant in Super League, and they score early. Now, I'd also like to give an extra little tidbit here just to those that are supporting us and that are watching live. This won't be in the recap, but this is just a little bonus I want to give as a thank you to everyone that's spending their mornings with us here today. Fenerbahce have who is basically the equivalent of the Erling Haaland of the Turkish Super League. His name is Ener Valencia. He has scored 7 goals in his last 8 games. He scored in every single game except for 2 so far this year. And the books are not really doing anything with his anytime goal score value here. Him as an anytime goal scorer is sitting still at +110, which is ridiculous considering all this guy does is score goals. So that's just a little bonus for everybody that's sipping their coffee and enjoying the show with us here this morning. But then to our second official pick here, we are going to the marquee matchup of Spain's La Liga this afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern time. We've got a matchup between Rayo Vallecano and Real Madrid here. Now, the safe bet to take in any match with Real Madrid is Real Madrid to score. However, that's currently at -850, and I enjoy my time on the show, and I don't want to lose my spot here by giving out -850 picks. However, if you've watched the show and if you know me, you'll know what this means. Rayo Vallecano is the Red Star Belgrade of Spain when they play at home. This is a team that is a completely different monster when they play in front of their home fans. In their last 3 home games alone, they've scored 9 times. This team is dominant. This team is scary. This team is amazing only when playing at home. Both teams to score here at -115 is tremendous value for 2 teams that love to score goals.
Oh, my man. So much great information. By the way, Joe in the chat says, where can I find everyone's prop picks on the SportsLine website? Are you only on YouTube? Well, we're on Apple. We're on Spotify. We're in a lot of other places. But as far as props right now, we are trying to get the site to a point where we have those. And we will get them, I promise you. But we always list them here. We always have the recap screen. But I encourage you, Joe, don't just look at the recap screen, or it will bite you. You got to have the information to go along with the picks, because we're not just a pick show. This is about a brand and all the information. All right. There will be more NBA picks, more probably a little college basketball today on Early Edge in 5 at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Of course, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time tonight. Early Edge live counting down to the Ravens and the Saints. So grab your paper, grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. Zach Attack is on Alvin Kamara, over 37.5 receiving yards. I just told you he went for 96 last week against the Raiders and 2 scores. So maybe a little sprinkle on an anytime touchdown prop as well. We'll see about that tonight. Then Buckets, he's on 2 plays today. Mr. Fenerbahce, Istanbul. Let's go first half money line, -110. And then in La Liga at 3 p.m. Eastern time, Rayo Vallecano and Real Madrid, both teams to score. My favorite bet is Buckets knows. Then Alley's on the Oilers, Capitals over 6.5, -115. And then one big play from SportsLine. We're going to go Bucks, Hawks over 226. Our simulations have this around 240. So we feel really good about 226. What a good start to your week, but this is the end of our week as we start on Tuesdays here at the brand. So with that being said, there's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, love them all. Alley, Buckets, my man Zach Attack, Jake the Snake on the ones and the twos. I am the coach. Tell all your friends, turn on those notifications. Every time we start a show, every time we drop any content, you will be notified. It pays to watch the Early Edge. Good luck.